All right. Good morning, Sally. Welcome to Truehope Cast. Thank you so much for being with me today. How are you? What is going well?
Good morning, Simon. Thank you for having me today. I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Kamloops. It's pretty cold, but it's Christmas pretty soon. The young kids are getting very excited, and maybe some time off over the Christmas period. So that's exciting.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
have a sunshine day here as well.
yeah, where are you? Are you in Vancouver?
I'm in Surrey, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. Well, it looks like a sunny day there, so that's good
Mm-hmm.
to
Finally,
take.
we see the sun.
Yeah, it's good to take those when you can, especially on the cloudy coast city.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us an introduction? Let us know who you are and what it is that you do, please.
Oh, of course. My name is Sally, and my last name is Yi. And I'm living in Surrey, BC, and I'm certified nutritionist and a natural health advisor. And I'm now owning my home-based business where I provide natural supplements and then help the people who are looking for natural healing.
Beautiful. How did you get into the natural health world? Usually people have got a pretty interesting personal story when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think everybody does. Actually, I'm interested in nutrition. It's back into 2005 when I had my first daughter. And then, like all the mother does, they want having a healthy baby. So same to me. And I've started interested in nutrition and then read a lot of books and then changed my lifestyle to really have a healthy baby. Yeah. But actually,
Wonderful.
the strong reason get into this career is because my father, because he had twice stroke in his life so far, but he couldn't stop his second stroke while he was taking medication, like statin, aspirin. He was taking about 5 years the medication, and then the second stroke still came. So I was thinking we have to change and we have to find the root cause and what we can do for him. And then when his second stroke happens, we already moved to Canada. And then I was looking for some natural product for him. Maybe we can replace the medication at that moment, but I'm not that professional. So I think I have to do more education on that. So later, when my kids grow up and I have my own time to spend on, and I've started to learn having a program. It's in the distant education in Canada. It's called the Alive Academy. So I registered that and then spent about 3 years to get my certificate.
Amazing. What made you decide to investigate natural health with your dad? Because your dad's been on he was on medications for 5 years. He has this second stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you think that natural health had an answer for you?
Well, yes, because when I moved to Canada, I was looking for some natural product for my kids when they were sick. I don't like the traditional medication, like antibiotics, to put on my kids when they have fever, when they cough like that. So I always looking for some natural product. But at that moment, I got a natural health food store, which is in Calgary, and then they helped us a lot, and then to find out the natural healing way to deal our family health. And then eventually the experience, it brings me to my customer right now, which is I started my business in 2015. So because the experience for myself, and I share the experience to my customer, and then the more success, more experience build up, and then the more interest make me to find out the natural way to deal my father's health. And then eventually, right now, my father, he's taking all the natural product without any medication, and he is able to do all the stuff by himself without help, even though he had been damaged all like part of his body was paralyzed, but he can move a little motion right now. He could do a little motion, and then he could cook, he could wash, and then laundry, everything. Yeah.
Amazing. How, so after the second stroke, he's on medications, and you investigate, you study, you research natural alternatives. What did you do that was, what protocol did you put him on to get him off those medications? Because most people who are on them are going to be on them forever, right?
Yeah. That's what I thought too. And because the doctor would told my father that you have to take these two type of medication your whole life. But the thing is, after 5 years, he had his second stroke, which is the medication doesn't help him. And then we by the natural health, actually we have a lot of product that can actually replace the medication. So I did a lot of the research, and also by the experience that I'm doing for my customer, and then the product, I was looking for the root cause. What is the cause my father's stroke? I asked him to stop, to quit smoke, stop drinking. This is the first thing that he has to do. And then so I make him to do like the citronal liver support and then cardiovascular support product the whole time, the whole life. And then he is now on zero medication.
That's honestly a miracle. And I think that there are millions of people out there who would love to know your secret of how you got your dad to make changes.
Well, you have to try, and then you have to trust what the natural can do for you first. Otherwise, you cannot change, because if you rely on doctor's medication, that means you put you on risk on it. But if you can try a little bit different, you have more chance. For me, it's the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously, like, if he's taking these medications and then actually has a stroke, which the medications were designed to stop, that would be like a big light bulb moment, right? Like, maybe their doctors don't have all the answers. Maybe medication forever is not maybe the solution. And if he just stays on these medications, which are supposed to stop strokes, like, what's to say that it's not going to happen a third time or a fourth time or a fifth time?
Yes.
How was your father? Was he receptive to the idea of coming off medication? Because steering away from doctor's advice is not really a common thing for a lot of people to do. And I think, especially in Western culture, in those older generations, like, they will listen to the doctor and do everything that they want to do to the letter. So it's like, how was he responsive to your idea and passion to want to change and help him? Obviously you want your dad to be around as long as possible. You probably saw a lot of the habits that he had, the smoking and drinking, which obviously were not serving his health, and you obviously want to do as much as you can to help him get healthy and be around to see your kids get married and stuff like that. So how did he respond to your ideas of helping him get off medication and get healthy?
Well, yeah, actually, my father was pretty much trust me a lot, and then he even told me once and said, "Hey, you saved my second life. You gave my second life." And she said he told me once like that, and because I just give him the knowledge. I said, "Okay, see, the medication didn't actually help you. You got your second stroke." And also, why you got the second stroke? Because the root cause haven't been solved the problem. You still have the root cause in there. So the root cause is because you smoke a lot and then you drink a lot. You have to stop that in order to get healthier. And if I put the healthy product on you, if you not stop those habits that you have, it's gonna not help you. So, but by the time the experience comes, he get more healthier, and then he looks better, and then he feels better, he sleep better, and then he can walk properly. But before he couldn't actually do many things. but he could walk longer and longer and then stand up. But before he couldn't, because by the medication, especially for the statins, it damage your muscles, right? You weaken your muscles, and then you feel pain everywhere. And then after he stopped the medication, well, he also had by the aspirin, the stomach ulcer. So that's why he found out a lot of benefit by quitting the medication. So little by little, time by time, he just built a habit to take the supplement every day. It's just like the meal he has to do. So yeah.
Well, I think your dad should get a lot of credit for being so open and courageous to want to make those changes and actually having trust in you. I think not a lot of parents want to listen to the advice of their kids. Usually it's the kind of the other way around, where the elders want to tell the kids what to do, and there's a lot of obviously ego that goes with that. But
for sure,
a lot of credit to your father, because you use the word trust there, which is absolutely vital and paramount. And I think it's honest. I think this story with your father and your involvement and helping him understand and get into the natural, I think it's a super rare story. I think it's amazing and fantastic, and I want to share this with as many people as possible, because
thank you.
It's huge. It's amazing. So credit to yourself, credit to your dad.
Yes.
That's really cool. So can you give us a little bit of an understanding of the protocol that you used with him, which products you introduced? You obviously didn't just come off the medications just like that. There would have been a process, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that protocol for him?
Yeah. First of all, I let him to do the blood test every single year. I'll see the cholesterol level, what he is. And then he has no blood pressure at all, high blood pressure, those issues at all. And then I just see we'll see the blood test first. And then what do I give to him? First of all, I want to control his cholesterol, which is I use citronol the whole time for citronol. And then for for a lot of antioxidant, the combination is a product called a healthy heart, because put a lot of hawthorn, CoQ10 in it, and magnesium and B vitamins in it. So it's a product combination. And then he is taking spirulina for the whole life, spirulina. And he is now on nitric oxide to prevent the stroke happen. So, and then a lot of basic nutrition every day, like multivitamin, fish oil, vitamin D, because he could not, like us, go travel a lot and go out a lot. He doesn't get much sunshine. So that's why I put him on vitamin D. So basic, it's the nutrition he has. And then the most to do the medication part, it's the citronol and the healthy heart, and then the nitric oxide. Yeah.
Wow, honestly, that's like a kind of a basic foundational regime. Probably a lot of people his age, taking something that's a blend of minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, things that we constantly need to have in. And especially if his body was used to having to deal with a lot of alcohol, having to deal with a lot of smoke from nicotine, and obviously the nitric oxide as a vasodilator, that's a really, really important regime. And I can only imagine how many people would be able to get off medications doing something similar to that, so that's wonderful. Let's talk about Truehope a little bit. Truehope a little bit, because you've got some experience with our products and our company. I'd love you to just let us know, how did you first hear about Truehope and its products?
So the Truehope story is very, very magical, actually, because it gives me another, it's just open a door for me for the natural health. I never believed that there was natural supplement that can help can replace psychiatric medications. The first case came to me is a lady who had gas poisoning twice. And then she relied on the psychiatric medication for like about 2 to 3 years. And then she could not sleep. She has nightmare all the time. She's screaming and then crying all the time. She was a teacher. And then she's so emotional every day. Then her friend is a doctor, and then the doctor refer her to me. Say, you might have to find some natural way maybe to do it. But eventually, actually, we give her 2 months detoxify protocol because of the gas poisoning. Otherwise, we cannot introduce the EMP and the free amino into it. So we start the protocol detoxifying her body first. We put her on glutathione, detox kits, for the 2 months. After the 2 months, she feels better, much lighter. She told me, I feel my body is lighter, and then she doesn't have too much like the thought that like before, that heaviness every day. So that moment we start to introduce the EMP for her. And then little by little, after about 2 years, she is keep that protocol about 2 years. And then she finally quit all the medication. She doesn't rely on any medication to sleep, to be happy, and then to involve his job every day. She was teacher, English teacher actually. And then now she has her second baby because she's ready for a new life. And then I was so happy for her. Yeah. This is the first case that I met Truehope's product. And then after that, since since her testimonial, after that, I started to put this EMP and the free amino, all kinds of depression, and then ADHD and autism, like those different cases.
Amazing. Why do you use EMPower Plus and Freeminos? For those people who don't know what those products are, maybe you could just give us a bit of a introduction of like what you understand about them and why you use them together.
Yes. Well, actually, every product I wanted to introduce to my customer, I do a lot research because I'm a responsible people. Even though I will try by myself, and then I have 2 teenager girls. One is 17, one is 15 right now. But when they hit their puberty in their 12th and 13th, they start not talking to me anymore. And then sometimes they feel like they just want to close the door and listen to music with earphones. And then they start to stop communication. But sometimes they come back with very bad mood. I said, what happened in school? You know, the puberty, the hormone level changes, and then the kids, their thought, and then the personality sometimes change too. So I said, what happened to them? And then they're not talking to you. But because I did a lot of research, and then that the podcast that you have been posted, I have been watching them before. So I said, okay, maybe I can put EMP for my girl first. I actually just give her like about 3 days for my first one. And then she said, Mom, I'm shiny again. Because she's a very sensitive girl. She's soft and she's very kind and gentle at school. So she feels like the pressure by the other schoolmate. So and then she cannot talk, and then she's afraid to talk to me. Sometimes the relationship. I said, okay, maybe you need something to help you, because I see the acne comes her cheek and everywhere. I said, okay, maybe it's the hormone level drives you like that. So I put her on a little bit of hormone, like the DIM, to balance the hormone first. And then I put her on 4 EMP a day. And she said, I'm shiny again. I said, and also I see the smile on her as well. I said, okay, that's maybe it works. So I share the experience to my customer. And as I told you, I built the trust with my customers. So in these few years, once I share anything, the people who trust me, they will try. Once they tried, they will get the same result. So which is amazing. And then this spread out, and then people just refer their teenager's mom to me because every teenager has the same problem. So once they starting it, and then the EMP, it's not just only for the mood, it's for appetite, it's for sleep, right? And it's for the motivation, even though, when the mood goes down, you feel nothing you wanted to do. And then after the kids take the EMP, their grades goes up. They study focus. So I said, okay, maybe we can use EMPower to the other case, not just for depression. Maybe we can for the kids' direct development. Like I said to Lorella, I said, okay, actually, my EMP is not just only sell for the people who has a mental issue. It's for everybody, stress management, study program, and even for memory and sleep, all those daily things you can use for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I think that I know Lorella. She's amazing. She's our rep in Vancouver. She is a phenomenal, beautiful, wonderful individual.
Yes.
And she's incredibly, she's very, she's such an advocate for teenagers and for children getting on some EMPower Plus, especially during a time such as puberty, when so much is happening for children biologically, and they've never experienced anything like that before. So the behaviors, the emotions are kind of all over the place because this new biological stuff is happening to them. They don't know what's happening. They don't know how to communicate that. And I think as a culture, we incorrectly just say, oh, they're just teenagers, they're just going through puberty, it's normal, and they
that's all the parents think so.
I completely disagree with that. I don't I think there's a rite of passage with turning into like a young woman or a young man, but I think there's so much we can do with supplementation and supporting that process, rather than it being this grenade of hormones changing the body and changing thoughts, changing feelings, changing behaviors. I think with the use of supplementation, it can be this like gradual like ripple through the water rather than this like big waterfall effect. And I think that products like EMPower Plus, products like Freeminos together in combination can be such a wonderful addition to that very stressful time. And we obviously have unprecedented like social pressures with social media, and just peer pressure at school is just a very difficult time anyway. I have my own experiences as a young man at school. That was difficult. I can only imagine what it's like for young women as well. Like it's just such a tricky time. And that's why we have the option of supplements, something to supplement this thing that's happening for you, whether it's a disease state, whether it's symptoms, whether it is something changing in your external world. Like it's so valuable and important that we have these tools that are relatively inexpensive. They are not pharmaceutical drugs, because a lot of kids like your kids who had these symptoms might get taken to a doctor and then put onto a pharmaceutical, which they will potentially rely on for decades, and the long-term effects of those medications come with side effects, which could be unbelievably damaging. So it's so important that we share the message that there are alternatives out there. We're using natural medicine. Like EMPower Plus is literally food that's broken down so well that it just gets absorbed regardless of your digestive capabilities. Such a powerful product. So I'm so happy that your kids are doing so well on it, and the fact that you're willing to use the product on your family just goes to show your trust and faith in it.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So that's what I told you. First of all, I will go through the product first, and then I will go through what caused the problem, and I'll put them together. Then it makes a good result, which is right now my kids' experience is spread out to my customers' kids as well. Actually, I use EMPower to stop a lot of people who going to use the medication, because it's effective right away. Sometimes I have a 13 years boy who had got depressed, and then the doctor just gave him the medication without thought. I said, okay, maybe you can stop a little bit. You have to know what caused that. And then the mom put the trust on me. I said, okay, I have a teenager too, because the stress and then the hormone change, those two main issues, it caused the nerve damage. So you have to deal with the two root cause first, and then put maybe a little bit of nutrition on it. The better choice is a EMPower. So after a week, the kids just smile again, and then the grade goes up, and the mother was so happy. She was like so thankful to me, and I said, "Oh, we have to share this story to their classmate who had the same issue," because she did actually.
Yeah, I think it's so important that we talk about that root cause, because obviously medicine, conventional medicine, pharmaceuticals, etc., have got their place in the world. They're very important. They've done some amazing things, and we shouldn't just bash them for the whole time, right? But when it comes to something that can be treated with natural medicine, very well researched natural medicine and supplementation, micronutrient formulas like EMPower Plus, we're actually, getting to that root cause and giving the body what it needs to deal with that added stress that it's going through, rather than using, a pharmaceutical drug, which is either going to stop a process or enhance a process, which is kind of like throwing more fuel on the fire. It's not getting to that deep root cause of what's actually going on for somebody. And it's just remarkable how quickly doctors go to harsh synthetic patented chemicals, and how quickly parents are just like, okay, I've got no power here, you're the doctor, I don't know anything about medicine. We have to do this route. But we obviously have more and more people who are looking at alternatives, like your story of like researching this and knowing, probably deep down, I don't know whether it was from a parental influence you had, or a cultural influence to maybe go towards natural health before resorting to maybe what the last resort should be, which would be like, going to a pharmaceutical drug. It's just wonderful that you're able to get that into especially young people, and then seeing their parents see the effects, because obviously as parents, like we've been with our kids for every day for 13, 14 years, and then they have this wild personality shift, and we just like get panicked, and we don't want our children to suffer a degree of pain and discomfort or depression or anxiety. Our whole job as parents is to make our kids feel good and safe and secure. And then when that happens at that age, it's like, oh my gosh, like we have to do something. And that's probably why a lot of parents will go to a pharmaceutical, because it's such a alarming situation where we might actually be thinking more with our reptilian reaction brain, rather than thinking, okay, let's step back here. What's happening? What can we do? What are all the options? I don't need to panic into, jumping into a pharmaceutical.
Yes, for sure. I actually, since I was born, actually, I use natural way. I think my mom and my dad, they use the natural way to deal our health for sure, because we use TCM, right, in China. I come from China, by the way. So we use TCM all the time. And since we moved to here, I was looking for TCM. I don't know the natural health until I hit that natural health food store. And so I just barely touch the traditional medication unless I really necessarily need. But actually, I think I don't need right now. So for my age, because we have our healing ability. And then if you could eat better, sleep better, and then you manage your stress, limited your toxins, then you're good. And everything that you can do natural to little by little to heal, not just to compress the symptoms right away, and then you just hidden, right?
Yeah, of course. I I didn't know anything about traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine until I went to nutrition school. So I did a 3-year degree at Pacific Rim College, and
Okay.
it made so much sense to me. You know, the only
Yeah.
exposure I had to medicine and healing was, you know, conventional
Yes.
medicine, and
Yes.
just the idea that these things are thousands of years old, they've had trial and error, you know, they've been used for so long, and they're actually using your individual, you know, like your personal makeup, using like tongue diagnosis and pulse diagnosis, you know, looking
Yes.
at people's eyes, you know, they can show you so much about what's happening internally. And
Yes. It's amazing.
yeah, it is amazing, and it's so wild that that's such a foreign idea to like Western medicine, and the fact that it, again, like, you know, Western medicine's like what, 100 years old, 150 years old, in comparison to something that's been practiced and used, and it's engaged the natural world with plant medicine for thousands and thousands of years, and conventional medicine does not exist without plant medicine. So
Right.
it just blows my mind that the idea of, like, you know, using herbs or using acupuncture or using, you know, pulse diagnosis, for example, as a mechanism for diagnosis, or like getting to the root cause of somebody about what's
Right.
going on, the
Right.
whole like yin and yang, and you've got the different, I can't remember what the Ayurvedic is. It's like kapha. I can't remember what they are. It's been a long time since I looked at it, but it, like, having those like foundational elements of diagnosis, and then using the tools of ancient medicines to be able to support people. And that's what we're doing, right? We're giving people the ingredients, the therapies to be able to get their body to heal themselves, rather than relying on something external, something synthetic that's inorganic to change the body to get it back to a healthy manner. Like, it literally doesn't really make sense. So it's amazing, and just so, I don't want to say fortuitous, but it's amazing that you had that, or your culture has that as like a foundation, and your parents influenced that, and it was probably an even stronger influence from your grandparents to your parents, and so back and back and back and back. So it's amazing that you're able to bring that back to. So honestly, a huge blessing and a gift that you're able to bring that culture from the East over here. So that's just amazing. We've spoken about you. So you gave me an example of somebody who's used EMPower Plus and Freeminos and some other things for detoxifying from gas poisoning. You've given us the example of like teenage anxiety and peer pressure. What other like really strong examples have you seen EMPower Plus and Freeminos work for people?
Yes, I have a lot of people who had depression, actual depression. And then she was looking for all kinds of different treatments. And she was hesitate to do EMPower at the last choice, actually. And then because we were on the contact for many years, and she's been buying stuff from me a lot, but she never deal with the mental issue. But once she had that problem, and then she came to me, say, if you have any product that can help me. I said, of course, if you want to try, but because I know she doesn't want to swallow pills. And then I said, because EMPower, and you need to swallow maybe 6 to 8 a day in order to get the good result. And then she said, okay, if that really can help me, I will try. I said, okay then. So I sent her to the protocol for her, and then she was taking about 15 days. But the change is not that very quick. And then she is a little bit hesitant to keep continuing. She go back to the medication. And then after the medication, maybe 3 or 4 days, she came to me saying, hey, I'm so sorry, I was wrong. Actually, your product, it works. And because just I cannot notice after I take the medication makes me crazy. I said, okay, as long as you try, you compared, then you can continue. So she stopped the medication, and then she keeps doing 6 months EMP and free amino together, actually. And also I sent her PS because she could not sleep well. And then she has a little bit like obsessive compulsive disorder. So I said, maybe you need some PS. So I put on her PS and free amino and EMP, probiotics, fish oil, all those things. and she reversed. Right now, she is very good. Yeah,
that's amazing, wonderful. Yeah, again, like just using a balanced combination of different ingredients against relying on literally like kind of like one or two chemicals kind of put together, like you really do get this like beautiful holistic synergistic effect that's supporting the body in so many different ways, rather than like just using like one or two chemicals in combination to try and do something. Have you noticed any changes in like mood or behavior for people when they maybe forget to take their EMPower Plus, or they run out, or things come up? Have you noticed people like maybe slip back into those patterns?
Yes, I have a seizure boy. He is 14 years old, and he was taking about 7 months about the seizure medication. He was a very smart boy. The mother told me that she was very smart. But after take the medication, control the seizure, and then the kids, it's changed. All those like memory change, and forget things all the time at school. He couldn't remember what the teacher said and study at school. And then her friend referred her to me. So I put him on EMPower and Freeminos after about a month. And then the mother was so happy about the results. Like just like a month, he came back. The kids, it's totally changed. It's like he didn't take the medication before. So the mother keep ordering for the kids. But after maybe he got sick, just maybe a common cold. The mother think he could not take the EMPower. He didn't ask me though, and he stopped him by himself. Then he came back one day, told mom, say, "Hey, mom, I cannot live without EMP." The mother still told me. I said, "Okay, maybe you have to remind him." Said, "No, because he had cold. I think we cannot take it." I said, "No, you should ask me. Actually, this is just nutrition. You didn't need to stop it." So yeah, this is the huge change for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely like life changing for a young man, for anybody, to be honest. Like going through that particular time, going through difficulties, to be able to take something that's natural, to get people like back on track and just feeling awesome, and maybe even making them feel better. That's just amazing. And so yeah, we've spoken about a bunch of different disorders. Have you ever worked with anything like bipolar, schizophrenia, autism? Have you worked with any of those things in regards to using EMPower Plus and Freeminos?
Bipolar has one case. It's for 8 years old boy. He's doing very well as well. He's been taking about 6 months too, and then at the beginning he was going to suicide. It's only 8 years old, but the mother actually, because the mother who had depression, and then the mother took 3 days medication, she could not sleep, and then she came to me, asked for EMP, and then 2 months later she feels better. Then she think she has to give this EMP to her son. And then the son has been taking 6 months already. And then she actually reduced the dosage right now, but the kids is still doing okay. Yeah.
That's just wonderful. Yeah, it's incredible the big spectrum, the big range of different disorders that a broad spectrum micronutrient like EMPower Plus that can support people. Like we talk about how it can support. I mean, we also have the research and how it can support people with like bipolar and depression. But then on the other hand, we see how well it works for people who just want to maintain their health, who want to optimize their health, just to take it as like their daily multivitamin, multi-mineral product. And personally, I don't have like a diagnosis or anything like that, but I take it every single day, and I know when I've missed a day, because I get a little bit more I get with my kid a little bit more foggy with my memory. My memory's not great, to be honest, anyway. But my memory is really bad when I don't take my EMPower Plus, and I get a lot more short with my kids. My patience isn't present,
Yeah,
so it totally makes sense. And I know I've been taking it for such a while, and I
yeah.
just know when I'm not taking it. And I think a lot of people who end up using it to support themselves from very, very difficult circumstances, they're going to recognize pretty quick when they forget to take it, or maybe if they're sick and they need like extra because their body is like fighting and using extra resources to deal with things. Yeah, people are going to notice it pretty fast.
I also want to share with you, actually, not just the user mental issue. I'm now using EMPower and Freemino for the kids who want to get smarter and then taller. And then, like my daughter, she is in grade 12, her last year of high school. She is in IB program. Was so stressful life. No time for sleep. All the deadlines every day, and then homework all the time. And then I put her on 4 EMP, 4 free amino every day. She still has her smile on, and her classmate, I know that because this program is crazy. A lot of kids get depressed, and a lot of kids, they cannot go to school anymore because the stress drives them crazy. And then they have acne all the time. They have hair loss, and they have all the mood swing all the time. But I can say my daughter, she's still good. Yeah. You can see the difference compared to the people who doesn't take it. And also for the kids, the little kids who had a gut issue, I don't know if you are familiar with the candida growth. Yeah, when they have candida overgrowth, and then it drives the mind like different, right? They cannot concentrate. And then I have one kid who likes candy a lot. So he built up the candida growth, and then he stopped growing when he was 13 because he has no appetite. He doesn't eat. And then the mother come to me and say, "Can you help?" I said, "Of course." Then we do the candida cleanse first. I said maybe first one week you have to do candida cleanse. So we introduced candida cleanse and then EMPower after the candida cleanse. So the kids now feel great, and appetite is better, and then growing taller, and then it's just like a normal kid.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a lot of experience of working with teens.
Yes, a lot actually, because I have 2 kids when they was young, and then I was just use the supplement nutrition to help them to deal with the issue. I'm never like looking for what's the problem. It comes to me as it's never go to the doctor. I even don't have a family doctor so far. I moved to Vancouver for 3 years. I don't have a family doctor.
Well, that's amazing. That's cool. What would you say to, because I think a lot of people have supplements. They have a supplement cupboard or a drawer at home that's kind of like a mix match of stuff from over the years. But what recommendation would you make for like choosing something like EMPower Plus over like just grabbing anything from like Walmart or Costco as a multivitamin?
Yes,
like, why would you? Yeah, what would you say about that?
I would say EMPower that covers your nutrition, covers your stress management, covers your sleep quality, covers your mood, and it covers your thought as well. What you're thinking and the passion that you do, and it's one for everything for me. Because even though I can access every brand, the multivitamins, I said if you want the best choice, EMPower is the best one for your kids. So I give them different dosage from 1 to 6 a day. Then what you can spend on, then you give me the budget, right? So if you want the best choice, then EMP is definitely your choice. I also put the free amino together actually because you doesn't need to take protein because it breaks down the amino acid, right? I also have a very, very successful case to share with you. It's a liver failure by using free aminos.
Wow, please share that. That sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, he is one of my relatives. That's why he can trust me, because he had psoriasis in late stage since last August. It's about a year and a half right now. Then the doctor told him, you have only 3 months left. And then he's been through ICU once and been to the hospital many, many times. I read an article that said the BCAA that can help liver failure, the patient. Then I said, okay, free amino contains the BCAA, right? It branch chain amino acid. So I said, okay, maybe you can do 9 a day, and then in order to help you. So he is taking 9 a day plus glutathione together, and then he is able to get out the ICU, and then he's still alive right now. And then the doctor told him, keep on going the free aminos. Yeah, so it was so amazing for him. This is a very, very successful story for in my entire stories. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not just conditions that you know, not, I mean, obviously depression and these things are very serious, but like, you know, liver failure is like, you know, like end life, very, very serious.
Exactly.
So it just goes to show how remarkable the body is once we give it the necessary nutrients to be able to, like, you know, fight for itself and heal itself and bring people back from very, very dark places.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Sally, you've shared some unbelievable stories. You've shared some incredible wisdom with us. I am so blessed that you are out there sharing these stories, and that your passion and your drive comes from such a beautiful place. It comes from your dad. It comes from your kids. It comes from your culture. It comes from your family. And you clearly have just got this amazing energy about you that is exactly what we need to support more and more, especially kids, to recognize that they don't have to live a big chunk of a very important part of their life feeling anxious, feeling depressed, feeling stressed and pressured. And I'm so thankful that you're out there doing your beautiful work.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity that I can share more story. Actually, because every time I really, really want to share, because not many people know that. And then not many people believe in that. And I also have a very good customer. She introduced people to me. She was afraid of her not believing in me. She paid for her to buy EMPower to save the kids, because she wants the kids to not do the medication at the first thing. So I so appreciate her and that kind of customer that refer the people to me, because they know that the natural way actually can help people. So this is the beautiful part that I'm doing this career right now is I have a lot of royalty customer, and they trust me, and then they trust the natural healing, the way that the directions.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's just wonderful. It's so good. And we talk about here at Truehope a lot about, you know, there are different supplements out there. There are different budgets that people have to kind of like work with. But like, say, for example, you've got a $20 budget a month for supplementation. You'll be better off just taking $20 worth of EMPower Plus during that month than going for a inferior product. So yeah, absolutely. But Sally, thank you so much for coming on to Truehope Cast to share your amazing stories. I'd love to get you back on the show to talk about more. You know, I'm sure you've got some a bunch of other things that you could share with us
No
to
problem.
inspire and to connect with other people, because that's kind of what we want to do here at True Hope for sure, but definitely on this podcast we want to share stories and motivate people, inspire people, and let people know that there are alternative routes to healing. And I'm sure that one of the amazing stories you shared today is going to just touch and resonate with somebody who might decide to take an alternative route than, you know, just going straight to a drug.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Well, that is it for this episode of True Hope Cast, the official podcast of True Hope Canada. We will be with you next week. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. You can leave us a review on iTunes. But that is it for this week. We'll see you soon.
See you. Bye, Simon.